Look at these lazy dogs. Look at these lazy dogs. Lulu. Willow. Lazy dogs. Huh. Guess you're gonna be lazy. That's the day to do it. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the journey. So it's actually still raining outside, but I needed to get outside and go take a quick look around because I heard something, which, scratch that, I think I'm gonna wait just a little bit. All right, rain or shine, here we come. So let's take a quick look around. Obviously, chairs are already put down. The awning we actually had to roll up early this morning because the wind almost took it. And here's one thing that I had talked about. Obviously, there's a lot of trees stuff down, but look, yo, man, I actually talked about that a little bit on the day of the scuttlebutt because I had it tied down in the back. Look. It actually broke my tie down. That's how bad the wind was. It broke that tie down. Lifted that up. It was laying flat. Oh, brother. I'm glad I didn't have mom and dad's little refrigerator plugged in. But look, you can see the other string. It held in, but then I didn't have any strings on the front. That's what got it. Oh, man, that sucks. But anyway, it's a tent, I guess. It just, it's how the cookie crumbles. Things happen, especially whenever you got storms that come through. All in all, I mean, other than just having, you know, a little bit of leaf debris and stuff, it looks okay. I actually need to head to the front of the property because I need to move the water buffalo, so I'll see you over there. All right, I got it all hooked up. I just went ahead and jumped out and did that quick. I've off camera, got the hose set off to the side. It's already unplugged because I don't want to leave it plugged because this isn't on a switch, right? And I don't want that pump because if it has a leak in it, which it did a little bit because that hose, I didn't have the little rubber washer that was in this hose, which I found one because I'd had some, but I finally got a new rubber washer put in there. So now it wouldn't leak, but if I left it plugged in, that had a slow enough leak in it that it would have leaked all the water out of the buffalo. But this cover's nice. It's all strapped in, tied in. It has like little straps. Get out of here, leaves. It has like little straps that comes in here. Let me see if I can unbuckle one. But look, it has like these little straps that just buckles in, comes underneath here and gets all strapped in. But man, if you guys want one of these, I'll have the link down in the description over to our Amazon affiliate and pick one up. It's actually pretty cool. But why am I moving the water buffalo? Well, I guess you're gonna have to stick around and find out. But I'm not taking it anywhere special. I'm just moving it over to make room for what's coming next. While we're waiting on what's to come over there, let's come over here and check out. So you can see a little bit of water come through here where the concrete culverts are. Obviously this gets washed out every so often. We ask the city to come fill it back up again because this is actually, it's not a county road. This is actually a non-named logging road because you go up and around the bend right here and that's all national forest. But then back behind our property is owned by the West Fraser logging company. So they could still use this for logging. But I don't know if you can see up in here. Yucky brown water. But before, you used to be able to see, so one of these concrete culverts, you can see this side sticks out a lot further than this side. That's because this one over here, it actually busted off, and it looks like, you know, it's pretty close to this one going off in there too. You used to be able to see, it's right in there, right towards the middle, but that concrete culvert was sticking out of the water halfway. So this water right here in this little pond area, if you want to call it that, has risen up about 1.5 feet. So that's a decent amount of water, but it still has about another foot to go before it will start to crest over the rocks that start going down the creek. So, but I'm pretty sure the fish that are living right here are happy, because it was getting pretty low. And then any water runoff coming from the ridge, right, that's all gonna run down basically the side of this road. There's another spot that it runs down off the ridge, and they kind of meet together right on the other side of the culvert, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. But it all comes down, and in this area over here, all up in there, which I'm not going to walk in there, but all up in here is almost like semi swampland. That's why at some point I would like to extend the pond. That way the water coming off the ridge just goes directly into the pond, and not this area over here. That way we can utilize this area for animals and such, and then not have to worry about, so any of the overflow from the pond would go back into the creek, but not through this area. So that's all land improvements that will come with time. I'm gonna need a much bigger tractor than what we got, but that's a decent amount of water just for a couple hours worth of rain. All right, so let's move up a little bit to the other culvert. We'll see what it looks like up and over here. And then I want to go look at the flag in the pond and see if the pond came up any. I mean, other than branches I've cut down, but like I said, this is one of the areas, and we've talked about this in previous videos, but it all comes from right here and further up the road, almost like right at the bend is where they come together. I can see a fence post that's up in there. It's pretty close to where that's at, but then it also comes up that way. So there's actually a significant amount of water that goes up and down from that ridge line. And then there's a smaller one right here, which this actually looks like it could almost be a road that goes up. And whenever I can finally get a flail mower to put on a tractor, I think I want to clear this up and try making a trail going up to the top of the ridge right here next to where this water's at, because it looks like some point there used to be a trail right here. And then obviously cleaning up all that on this side, you know, kind of what I talked about. But I would like to be able to have, you know, to where that pond comes all the way to this side, almost to the road, you know, to where we'd have to, you know, get this. But the biggest part is on the inside, having to put a bank up there and then allowing all the water to flow that way towards the pond and such. Basically the water coming from here, that's coming down from the ridge. So we'll see what happens, but for right now this is good. Let's go check out the pond. Yeah, because up here is where basically any of the water about halfway down the driveway and from the ridge, half of it's going to go to that big culvert, and then the other half comes here, which this here is it's tapering down, right? So because we're basically at the end of a ridge, so the other side of the property here, which we've went over there before, I don't know, maybe this fall once the bugs and stuff have subsided, I'll take you guys to the top of the ridge and up and around and just do a little property tour. But this is one of the other culverts that we still need to get installed. Need access to a backhoe. So until that happens, because there's just way too many rocks. I mean, you can see here, they're just ginormous rocks. Look, I mean, I'm in size 11 boot, and it's just bigger than my boot. And there's a bunch of them, all kinds of rocks, because where I need to go, right, another big rock here, and it's basically where it's going. So it comes out over here pretty close to where that jawbone is, cow jawbone, but to here and then over, that's where we're going. So it has to go right through all these big rocks, and I'm just not going to do it by hand. So once I can get access to a backhoe, we'll get this other one pulled out and we'll get that new one put in. All right, so the other day when I was actually mowing over here, I noticed that there was a trail. I don't know, you can kind of see where the grass is laid over right here. So the trail that was laying all this grass down, even the tall grass that I cut, and it was a trail that went basically that way. So as I cut this, I was going through, I noticed that there was a nice little hole right here. So I don't know what lives in there, but something is actively living in that hole. So might have to set up a camera just to figure out what it is. And looking at because there was a hole there already whenever we took down, because there used to be a structure here that we had cleaned up, and there was a hole, but I filled it in. And they've filled it once again, so whatever's in there is still living there. And then coming down, so these branches right here, it never fails. I always have to watch where I'm walking, because there's always going to be cobwebs. So this time I brought some snips. Let's get these cut down quick, and then we'll go check out the pond. So that gets it opened up a little bit better in here. Hopefully I won't be walking through webs, but I'm sure it will happen. I was able to get some grass and stuff cut over here. Looks a lot better. Obviously the pond, you know, the pond still needs help. But it has rose up just a hair. Not a lot, but that used to be at the water's edge, and now it came up that far. So yeah, are we at the end of the dry season? I don't know. I guess only time will tell. We'll see how wet this fall is going to get, and then get into winter time. Boom, just like that. That's the reason why we moved that over, because we had to make room for a nugget.
Luckily, it don't take a lot of room.
Yeah, no, they got here, and this is actually after the weekend, so we hang out and birthday Gladys. We did some tacos and all that.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gladys. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Miss.
21 for the 5th time.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm smart.
27 plus shipping and handling. We need the cheaper insurance. Keep it at 27.
Anything but they're gonna be packing it up, heading over to David's.
Yep.
And doing that, and still got stuff we got to do around here. I actually need to go refill the water buffalo now, but like I said, I think we're out of the dry season because it looks like we almost got more rain coming.
The clouds say it's so.
The clouds say it's so, but I don't know. But we definitely appreciate you guys for following the journey. Probably should have recorded a little bit more during the birthday party, but it is what it is. I was busy cooking, and they enjoyed it.
We did. We had a blast, and I mean, we got some footage, you know, fairly enough to give everybody a taste of what's going on. But
yeah, so you guys can check that out.
It's more about the friendship and hanging out than it is pulling a camera out. Like we record our lives 24/7, so to put the cameras down and just have one-on-one time and hanging out that's what's more important.
Exactly.
Building this community deal. That's what you got to do.
More time for the cold snacks.
And yes, many cold snacks.
But yeah, most definitely. So I'm gonna leave you guys at that. Their link will be down in the description. Go check it out. Help them grow. I'm sure a majority of you already do that anyway. And last but not least, remember to always thank a veteran at every chance you get, not only on
Veterans Day.
And we'll see you on our next one. Later, y'all.
Later.